Accounting 101. My name's Janet Barabee. I'm going to be a teacher this semester. This is my first attempt at YouTube videos, so please bear with me. I'm a little nervous, I'm not going to lie. What I'd like to do in this video is go along with the welcome message that I have posted in the e-learning, and also talk a little bit about the syllabus. They go hand in hand. It's things that we usually discuss on the first day of class. And since we're not in class, this is the best we can do. Okay, so if you have your information maybe in front of you, printed out, downloaded from the website, I do have this all bullet pointed, and also the syllabus and the instructions for Pearson. Okay, so the first thing is everybody wants to know about tests and how often they are. Okay, we're going to have 3 tests through the semester. It's about, well, in summer about every 3 weeks. They're on 2 chapters only. Okay, those 3 tests, the average of those 3 tests make up 50% of your grade. This is also in the syllabus. Okay, 20% of your grade is the labs. Okay, and the other 20% is the final exam, and the other 10% to make up the full 100 is the homework and participation. And you might say, how do I know about participation with an online class? Well, I have accessibility to the Pearson site, so I can see, kind of spy on everything that you do and how long you take. And it doesn't matter how long you take or when you do it. The assignments should be kind of kept up with following the schedule on page 3 of the syllabus, the tentative schedule, and I have it here. I believe it's page 3. Let me just check. Yes, it is. It says tentative course outline, and everything is dated. But when you go into your Pearson site, when you get your username and password and your access code, and my access code is at the bottom of page 3 of the syllabus. It's also on your instruction sheet for Pearson. It's Barabee 96604. You don't have to write that down because it's in 2 places. That's my code for the class, and you're going to use your code and my code. There's some really easy instructions that I've posted on the site. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's student registration instructions, and it's all on one sheet. It's really, really easy to do. And if you have any questions about it, feel free to ask. I've already gotten an email about the book. If you don't have the book for June 1st, this is actually Memorial Day when I'm doing this, but next Monday, if you don't have the book, don't panic, because they offer a 14-day free trial in Pearson. You can buy it directly from them. You can get it from the bookstore. There's no difference in price. Okay. A lot of people ask me, I'm going to take this down. A lot of people ask me if you can get it online. You can, but the problem with the online purchase, it's much cheaper, but you can't purchase the access code from somebody else because it's not transferable. When you buy the access code, it's good for 2 full years. So it's good for 101 and 102. So you don't have to worry about getting another book or getting another access code. Okay, so it's the same thing. You can rent the book from the bookstore, but you have to get the access code. You have to actually purchase your own. So you'll have your own number and your own username and password. So that's another question that comes up a lot. Also, another thing about the tests, I give you study guides for each test, which I'll post, kind of the week before the test when we're done those 2 chapters. They're very explicit. It'll be a similar problem to a homework problem that we have. When I say similar, I mean the same procedure to do it. The numbers and names might be changed, but that's about it. So it's a very good study guide. Also, the final exam has a specific study guide to exactly what those homework problems. I take everything from the homework problems. So whatever is on there is exactly what it's going to be on the final. I'm extremely specific, and the reason I am is because it's cumulative. There's one problem from each chapter that we covered. I also do extra credit points, and this can sometimes cause a little bit of confusion. You'll notice when you get on the Pearson site that the extra credit is already posted for test 1. Extra credit assignments that are listed on Pearson will appear as every test comes up. In other words, the first test on 1 and 2 is already there. Once the test 1 goes away and is done, everybody's finished, I still leave the extra credit there until we take the next test. But as soon as we move on to chapter 3, you'll see extra credit test 2. So a lot of times there'll be 2 at once. This is an optional assignment. These are, the 3 of them will be optional. You don't have to do it. Probably I get 80 to 85% participation in this extra credit. That's very popular. And there's a couple of reasons. It's worth 10 points extra on each test. So in other words, 10 points times 3 is 30. So I would add each of the points that you earned on extra credit before I get your average on the 3 tests. So people like that. Another good reason to do it, it's a great study tool for the tests because the extra credit assignments mimic the test. Same type of problems, same procedures, things like that. So it's an excellent study tool. Another thing that comes up a lot is, why are there no due dates on the assignments? Or the due date says August 28th, I believe. I put the end of the last Friday of August. And there's a good reason for this, even online. When people are studying for the exam, sometimes you like to go back and redo the problem. You just hit a little icon that says try it again. And it erases everything that you did. You might want to print it out first, just in case. But it erases everything you did so you can practice on that actual problem. Now you might see on the study guide like 2-16, similar to this problem. So you say, oh, I want to do that problem again, just to make sure I've got a good grasp of it. Well, if I had a due date, you could go back and look at it and print it out, but you couldn't redo it. So this is the reason why I don't put specific due dates. Even though it's a great idea to try to keep up with the tentative class outline for the semester, in other words, chapter 1, the first week, and then so on, moving along following that page 3. Pretty much I adhere to that schedule. However, this is the reason for not putting the due dates. It's strictly a tool because Pearson is a bugger. When something's past due, all you can do is look at it. You can't touch it. You can't change it. And don't worry about the grade for the homework if it's not perfect. I don't take the grades from the homework. You get 100% as long as you do it. That doesn't mean you can get a 2% or a 5%. You have to have made your attempts the best you can, and if you have questions, of course, I'm always here, not physically, but I'm accessible to you to answer questions. You can do it through email. You can do it through text. You can do it through FaceTime. I also have a Zoom account. If you like that, we can do it through Zoom. So there are many communication tools at our disposal that we can utilize. Everybody has their preferences. When we went online, the middle of the spring semester, strangely enough, I had very little Zoom requests. It was mostly FaceTime people liked, or text, or email, like kind of more lower tech stuff, which is fine with me because I'm low tech. But I can do the Zoom. I'm perfectly okay with it. Again, it's new to me, but I'm getting used to it. And we can do that if you'd like. So, let's see. A couple of other things. On the Pearson site, there are lots of great tools. Maybe you'll like them better than my videos, which I plan on posting for each chapter. Small videos, short videos, an example. Okay. On Pearson, they also have videos, which are good. The thing I really highly recommend in the tools, and you go to multimedia on your list, on the left-hand side, the multimedia tab, and if you click on that, you're going to see all their tools. And my favorite one, which I use myself in class, are the PowerPoints. Okay. The PowerPoints follow the chapter perfectly. The examples are fantastic. They're the same examples that are in the book. Even if you didn't have the book, you could follow along with the PowerPoints. I use them for lecture all the time. I write notes on them. A lot of the students bring them in. You don't have to. There's 50 or 60 or sometimes more of them to print out. You don't have to do that, but it really is helpful. It saves on taking notes too. Some people like to go through the chapter and take their own notes. That's perfectly fine. I know that's a tried and true method. So it's up to you, but they are really helpful and I always use them myself. They're a great tool. You're going to see as the last bullet point on my welcome message that I'm in the process of doing these videos to hopefully help you out. This is my number one. Hopefully I get better. So that's the last bullet point. I hope you really enjoyed the class, but most importantly, feel free anytime to communicate with me. I check my email all the time. I'll be looking at e-learning all the time for any SOSs or anything you may have. My cell phone's there if you need to text me, email, whatever. Okay. Well, hope you enjoy the class, and I'm looking forward to speaking with each of you.
Yay, great first video.